106.5 Milwaukee.
Everybody get on the right ship, searching for attention, entrepreneurship. Do your own thing, hey, entrepreneurship. Everybody get on the right ship, searching for attention, entrepreneurship. Do your own thing, hey, entrepreneurship.
I'm coming very strong and bold. Let me tell you before you get told.
You got
See, I run my own thing like I won the championship ring.
period. So I say to all my misses, I'm looking fly, I rock my business.
Okay.
Now my friends be dialing and calling while I'm having fun and balling.
Everybody get on the right ship, searching for attention, entrepreneurship. Do your own thing, hey, entrepreneurship. Everybody get on the right ship, searching for attention, entrepreneurship. Do your own thing, hey, entrepreneurship. Everybody get on the right ship, searching for attention, entrepreneurship. Do your own thing, hey.
Good morning, Milwaukee, and welcome to the Hustle and Grow Show powered by the Center for Teaching Entrepreneurship. Today, we'll be starting off by discussing Men's Mental Health Month. But how's everyone doing today?
Good.
As a man, I'd like to say I'm also doing very well today.
Yeah, that's good. June is Men's Mental Health Month. It's meant to raise awareness about the discrepancy relating to men's mental health and the suicide rate compared to women. So,
Oh, you wanted me to go? Okay. Well, Men's Mental Health Month began in 1994 when Kansas Senator Bob Dale introduced a bill in 1994 to raise awareness about the early detection and treatment of the health conditions of men. Specifically, it was specifically made to combat the fact that men have to do more hard, laborious things, and they have to worry about taking care of their family themselves, and they have to make sure that everything is stable. And it was mostly made because men, as you know today, are seen as more stoic and don't talk about their emotions.
yeah, and I think that's more changing now in this day and age where it's people are more comfortable with talking about their feelings, which is very good because it's not healthy to just keep everything bottled up because there's going to be a time where that just explodes and it blows over.
Yeah, because especially as a man, there's a certain level of there's people that expect you to just take it because you're a man. You're supposed to be the backbreaker, the bread getter, right? You're supposed to be like Antonio. You've heard the statement like, "Oh, you're a man, just suck it up, take it."
Yeah.
And like I can speak from experience, bottling up your emotions is never a good thing to do, whether you be man or female, anybody.
Yeah.
So yeah, I also read that specifically in 2020, men died by suicide 3.88 more likely. Times more likely than women, and I even though they did experience a higher rate of suicide, they were less likely to seek help for it. And that was specifically in 2020. And I'm not sure if like COVID had like correlation with that, but I thought that was like interesting.
I was researching more like fathers that are like men, obviously. But the child care or child like whoever takes care of whoever the child
the primary parent.
Yeah, like the mom or the dad, and like custody. That's what I'm trying to say, custody. So I know women are like about like 4 times more likely to have full custody over the child than a father is, even though they're both like competent to be the main caretaker for that child.
Yeah.
And I think mainly because some people mainly like some women judges or even male judges, they think that men are less competent at taking care of a child than a woman. But I don't think it should be like about gender. I think it should be more about like, are you mentally and emotionally ready to take care of that child, and are you financially ready to take care of that child? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, especially because in the Black community, it seems as though more and more fathers are not there for the kid, right?
Yeah.
And I had a website that I was looking at that listed the discrepancies between, you know, fathers being in the home and children being in the home, especially like it outlined from Black people, white people, and Hispanic people. White people were more likely to have a father in the home rather than Black people. Black people had the highest rates of no father in the home, or like broken household, where you'd probably have the father but not the mom, or you'd have the mom and the father, or you wouldn't have either of them, and the child would be living with grandparents or relatives or somebody like that.
Yeah, that's very common. Like a lot of like people in my school, like they're being raised by their grandmother. Typically, it's their grandmother rather than both of their grandparents. And if not, it was just their mother, for multiple reasons. Maybe they're in jail, they left, or their father passed away. Which is, every kid deserves a stable household, and it's not easy being like a single parent. It's much higher costs, and if I think it was, I'm not sure what the exact number is, but like with like a two-parent household, they have a much higher income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of
Well,
course.
obviously they'll have a much higher
Mhm.
income, but also with the two-parent household, the child is less likely to go out and commit crime, and they're also less likely to stay around destructive company and people that would only bring them down. But when you
Yeah.
have a broken household like that, I can't remember his name, but he was talking about in the Black community, when you have no father and only the mother providing, or you have no mother but only the father providing, the child is, I think he said 60, or actually no, I think he said if both parents aren't there, then the child is 60% more likely to end up going out into the streets and doing and being a hoodlum and trying to present himself. I'm just gonna keep it straight up. That's what it's called.
Yeah.
okay.
And speaking of that, Black men in 2018 was the suicide rate was 11.7 per 100,000 compared to
Jesus.
7 per 100,000 for Black women. And especially ages 15 to 24, they have seen a significant increase in that number, increasing about like 45%. So
That's
And if I can
dang.
talk about like outside of America, like America doesn't have that high of a suicide rate like versus other countries. Like I know Korea has a really high South Korea. I know South Korea has a really high suicide rate, and Japan and Vietnam and stuff. They have like a really high suicide rate for men. It's still mostly men that commit suicide in those countries, but it's like literally like triple.
You
Yeah,
have to look at it like
I know like in a lot of like countries, I guess they like are really like big on like following like traditional norms, and that like I guess it talks
what
a
is
lot
it?
about, sorry, I'm trying to find the right words, but there's like there's this really like I guess like biased view that they like hold on to of like women thinking a certain way and like men thinking a certain way, and so
So like
like
it's like traditional gender norms, or like they're
yeah,
trying to,
yeah, like that.
or like they overly push the traditional gender norms so the woman cannot have like jobs or anything like that. Is that what you're
Mhm.
trying to say?
Yeah, but also like the other way, and like
Mhm.
I guess men are supposed to like, you know, just like work a lot, and I feel like with that, I guess it's hard to like talk about mental health, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I know that certain countries, like Brina mentioned, South Korea. South Korea
Mhm.
is a is a dictatorship. Let's
Yeah.
call it what it is. It's a
Oh, it's
No, it's
North
That's
Korea.
North Korea.
Yeah,
North Korea. I'm
No,
sorry. Not
South
so-
Korea is a great country.
I'm sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me for the viewers in South Korea. I got that mixed
Yeah.
up. North Korea is a dictatorship.
But yeah, also don't get too fixated on the numbers. Make sure you're like finding things that you find pleasure in, like going outside,
You need to go outside.
like getting
Mhm.
sun, like all those different like benefits from the sun. They make you feel better. If you don't get any sunlight, you're going to become more depressed. Or
Yeah.
like
Good old vitamin D.
exactly. And like the dopamine, you get less of it, so it's harder to be happy.
Oh yeah, sure, definitely.
So you just have to get outside, like
Yeah, but you need to get dopamine in the right ways because
for sure.
there are a few ways to get dopamine. One, going outside, obviously. Two, you need to spend more time around people because there's I know for me personally, it's hard to kind of make connections with people and try to
Mhm.
put myself out there as an introvert. I know that my father also struggles with that, but mostly because my father's like a giga genius and doesn't think anyone's on his same mental capacity.
Yeah.
He's still, I don't know. But you need to make friends. You need to get outside. Go to the gym. Actually, going to the gym is proven to boost
Yeah.
your dopamine and boost your self
Mhm.
confidence. But also, whatever any social activity is proven to help you boost your dopamine and help you feel happier, increase your mental health. And you shouldn't, as we're on the topic of mental health, you shouldn't be listening to any like sad music. Like if you're in a down,
Yeah.
depressed state, don't listen to sad music
Yeah.
because I've noticed that when people hold on to one emotion, whether it be anger, sadness, or fear, they only go to the things that help elevate that
Yeah,
emotion.
they
Like
keep repeating it.
yeah, like when you're
Yeah.
angry, you find every reason to be angry. You don't
Mhm.
find any reason to try to calm down. When you're sad, you're trying to find every reason, everything that's wrong with the world to try to remain sad.
Yeah.
But that's only going to bring you down. You need to elevate yourself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, be the person you want to be.
Yeah.
Find those
Yeah.
things that give like your life purpose, like essentially.
Yeah.
Like not just instant gratification, things that are actually going to be rewarding in your life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I suppose like learning a new language, like things like Duolingo,
Mhm.
those give you things to do, riding a bike,
Mm.
just getting exercise, all those certain things like to just add substance to your life so you're not just lost. You don't feel like your life is meaningless essentially. You have actual purpose.
I would
Yeah.
I would advise. Okay, well we'll move to the next topic, but I advise read the Bible. It's got a lot of information that will definitely bring you up and add a definite purpose to your life.
Yeah. And also in situations where like I guess you like miss out, say like you miss out on like one day to the gym and like a lot of people get like depressed about that because they have this like all or nothing kind of mindset. But like just missing one day of the gym and just, continuing like that didn't happen is better than just, letting that one thing get to you. And it also helps, to just stop procrastination,
Yeah.
Stuff
Don't
like
look at. I always say this. Don't look at where you've come from. Look at where you're going.
that.
Don't
Mhm.
look at how many times you've fallen. Focus on how many times you're going to get back up.
Okay.
All right. That was a really important discussion to be had, especially in June. So I think we'll also talk about Juneteenth since that's also
Mhm.
in June.
Did
So-
anybody go to Juneteenth except for me?
I didn't.
I was not able to.
Didn't go.
Oh,
You went?
Me
none of
either.
us. Oh,
It
really?
was so hot. I could not like. I was I was in awe of like all the amazing like stands and like the food and stuff, and I just like love to see how many like Black people were was out there celebrating.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you don't really see that any other time of the year. You don't really see that many people showing up to support. But it was like really hot. Like I was wearing, I think, some cargos and a bodysuit, and I was sweating the whole time. And eventually, like, cause I underestimated how long the walk would be. It was like 4 miles,
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
So it's like 4
Juneteenth.
miles.
It's the summer.
and I was like, I got to like halfway down, like not even up, like down, and I was like, I want to go home. But it was honestly like really amazing, and I wish I would have brought more money so I could support more businesses.
Yeah.
My mom and my grandmother went. All they really said was it was just hot,
Yeah.
and they brought back corn,
Mhm.
Oh,
but
Like
my
corn,
mom
like corn on the cob.
yeah, corn on the cob, but my mom's bracket broke. Like so she had to come home.
Oh, her braces.
Oh.
I feel
terrible.
that. When I had
I-
braces,
I had that too.
but you have
I'm
braces too.
I'm
Mhm.
going through it right now. I can't eat anything I want to.
forgot
My
you had
teeth
braces.
hurt, bro.
Oh man.
I will
They-
say, even though I didn't go to Juneteenth, I was a part of the team that helped set up Juneteenth. Like, not with any of the celebrations, but I worked for the Department of Public Works, so I was just the one setting up the garbage carts and the recycle carts all along the routes of where Juneteenth was.
Okay.
And although I couldn't go, I caught a few glimpses of the parade, and it seemed like it was a pretty fun thing. One thing that instantly got to me was like, I think it was the next day. Did anybody see that news about the shooting in Washington Park?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, a 17-year-old Milwaukee boy was shot to death Wednesday night that same day in Washington
Dog.
Park by another 17-year-old. He's
Mhm.
under arrest and accused
Was
of
this-
killing him.
I didn't know this was you said 17-year-old black guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what it is, but like, why do we have so much violence against our own people?
I think,
don't know.
well,
Um,
like, okay, I can actually like black on black crime is like not really a thing, cause okay, when you have to think about it, like black people typically are in a more saturated area, and they are all
Yeah.
in like not all black people, but most black people or a lot of black people are in poverty, and the poverty-stricken parts of the city are really close together. So that's why you have like like neighborhoods that are like typically like all the same. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
that's like why crime happens. Like that's why theft happens. Like if all black people were doing fine financially, they wouldn't have the need to
Yeah.
steal.
Proximity to other
Yeah,
black
and
people.
that's like that's why like obviously if they're all living in the same neighborhood, of course it's gonna be black on black.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily like a thing that black people just want to kill black people.
Yeah.
Because that's
definitely.
where like white on what black crime, because like that's like
Yeah.
you can do that intentionally because they're a black person, but like black person killing a black person is not because they're black, it's because
Something
Yeah.
else.
yeah, it's
because
not
of the proximity.
it's
to
not
it.
like nothing to do with race.
Yeah. It's a lot of times used to scrutinize black people, like that they're just hateful even to their own people and to themselves.
Right.
When it's not always the case. Of course,
Yeah.
like violence is almost never the answer.
Mhm.
That's
I would say
never the answer.
Never.
Never.
And I mean,
In a few
if something's
cases,
attacking
maybe.
you,
If
might
somebody-
have-
That's not
okay,
really like
that's
a
self-defense.
crime. That's
that's
yeah, that's
yeah,
it's still
self-defense.
violence.
but
it's just not
it's not
scrutinized.
I'll say it's not aggressive violence, like you're defending
Yeah.
yourself. Like
Yeah.
when you go out in the neighborhood and just like, oh, I'm gonna do this, yeah, that's
Mhm.
not okay.
But it's definitely used to just point the blame at
Yeah.
black people and used to be hateful because
And I think some
Yeah.
black people take that to heart, and then they see these labels on the news like black on black crime, or they see like, or even protests where there's looting and stuff.
Yeah, like BLM.
Mhm.
Black people then put that in their minds, either subconsciously or consciously, and they're like, is this all we is? If this is all we are, then I'm just gonna be it. When
Exactly.
that's not the answer.
Yeah.
and if we all want to just be equal, we shouldn't just put ourselves to just black on black crime. It doesn't make sense to put that label on it. It should just be crime.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
really doesn't make sense to say that. That's just putting more emphasis on something that doesn't matter.
Yeah, all a part of the human race. All bleed red.
Exactly.
More like on Juneteenth though, I think it was a really nice thing to see all the like small businesses. Like I know they were selling like a lot of dresses and so, like earrings, necklaces, and it was a lot of restaurants too. And they were all really good. They were cheap too. I got like a rib dinner for like $10 and it was
Good.
good. It was good. But yeah, I think like I said, it was a really good opportunity. Like if you owned a business, you should have definitely come down and showed
Oh,
up
man.
because a lot of people would have bought your product and stuff.
Man, y'all want to go to Juneteenth next year?
For sure.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Were there like non-black people like selling things there, or was it just black people?
Honestly, no. I don't think I saw a non-black person selling anything, but they had like a couple like white people like doing like the brochures like become a police officer or like stuff like about jobs. Like it was a couple people like talking about jobs, financial literacy, knowing how to do your taxes. So it was like definitely like diverse. I also saw a lot of like white people show up and support. So that was like a really nice thing. It wasn't just black people there.
Okay, yeah, that's good because
Yeah.
a lot of times when like there are black centralized things, it's like people seem excluded when that doesn't make sense to be excluded. That's just creating a more segregated like community You don't need to be black to show up to those places.
Yeah, and those are celebrations for all people.
Yeah.
Commercial.
All right. We need to go pay some bills. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the show. Did you guys see the Trump versus Biden debate?
Absolutely, I've been waiting to talk about this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start out first with my observations. Everybody that saw the debate and everybody that didn't, well, to the people that didn't, I want you to go onto YouTube and go watch that. Seriously. My first observations when Biden came onto the podium, he instantly looked disgusted and he sounds sick. Like if you listen to him speak during the debate, he sounds audibly sick. His voice is hoarse. Like if you look at him speaking last year or a couple months earlier, his voice sounds fine, but here he sounds hoarse and quiet, and it's
I
weird,
think
right?
he said it was because he had a cold.
He had a cold. That would have
Uh-oh.
killed him. Like that
No,
would
really? Okay, look, he's not that old, y'all.
He's
I will say-
81.
That's not that old.
He's the
That's-
oldest
okay,
U.S. president to date.
That doesn't matter. Cause okay, like he had a point though.
I
Like
think
when
he
he was the
just-
youngest, election, like for the Senate, everybody
Mhm.
was like, "You're too young to be a Senate, yada yada." And then now he's 81, and now everybody's talking about you're too old.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
never
Because
too
he
old to
is.
be
Yeah,
anything.
that's true.
And
That's
And
true,
also,
though.
like,
sorry.
no, you're fine. I was just gonna say like, I don't think he's incompetent to be a president. I think like obviously like age is getting to him a little bit,
Yeah.
but I don't think like he's gonna fall over while he's being the president. Like I don't think that people think like he's like
Oh yeah, I agree. He's not totally incompetent, no, but there's definitely something that left. Like he's not as competent. Like if you look back
He's not as sharp.
yeah, if you look back 3 years before, like back in 2020 during those debates, he was a little bit more sharper. If you look back
Mhm.
when he was vice president to Obama, he was definitely a lot more
Well, I
sharper.
didn't know that.
Yeah, he was vice president to Obama. And if you look back to when he was a senator, when he was really young,
Mhm.
he was on point. He was sharp
Yeah.
with everything. Now it's like I don't think he has dementia or Alzheimer's, but there's something in his brain that's not like it's not.
Yeah, age is definitely getting to him,
Yeah.
and I feel
Yeah.
like what Brina was saying, that he's not looked as like, because he's like older, he's not looked as wise,
Yeah.
like how most older people are looked
Mhm.
toward. Like you go to older people for wisdom, and since they
Mhm.
know a lot, but Biden
Yeah.
doesn't get that privilege.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
like if you got like an X-ray of his brain, it's like the cogs are just moving so
man.
okay,
slowly.
yeah, you know.
Listen, no.
Wow.
Listen, let me make my point. I was watching the debate. Literally, when Trump was talking about Afghanistan or something, there's legit. There's a couple of moments in the debate where it's viewed live. It looks like Biden is fall asleep.
Oh
Standing
yeah,
up.
he
Yeah.
was asleep.
He was asleep. I thought he was just looking down at his paper.
No.
So like like people during the debate, there are a few moments where Biden's eyes are closed and he's fallen asleep standing up. And then he wakes back up and looks around like he doesn't know where he is.
Yeah.
Okay. What I will say is what I noticed. So Joe Biden got to pick. So they did a coin toss in deciding if he was gonna pick where he wanted to stand on the podium or if he was gonna give a closing statement, because they
Yeah.
didn't do opening statements.
Yeah.
So Joe Biden picked his podium, and then Trump came, and then they didn't shake hands. Usually, when you do like a presidential debate, like you shake hands, you
Yeah.
talk for a little bit, you pop, you know.
Yeah, they
and
just
you
stood
go.
there like after their closing statements, they just stood there like
Because they got
Yeah.
beef, but
they got like during the entire thing, like there was that one section where they started comparing their golf scores.
yeah,
Oh,
it was
yeah,
like
right.
And like Trump was like, Biden can't even hit a golf ball over 50 yards. And then Biden came back with, I can totally hit a golf ball over 50 yards.
No, you
I'll
know
totally
what?
challenge you to golf.
You know what I found so funny? Okay, so Joe Biden was like, one of us here is a convicted felon and it's not me. And then Donald Trump said, okay, I'm a convicted felon, but isn't your son a convicted felon?
That's
Wow.
crazy.
And I was
Yeah,
like,
gee.
man,
Okay, listen, I'm gonna say it. I just want to see these two box.
I don't.
Box.
Oh my-
listen,
that
listen,
would
listen,
not
listen,
end
like,
well.
That would not be
Hear
good
me,
for
hear me out, hear me out, hear me
10
out.
second round.
Hear me out, hear me out.
They would both
Give
die.
Biden some time to bulk up and build some muscle.
I think he's-
Put Trump on the treadmill and get him doing some cardio. They both have equal weights. Put them in the ring, boxing gloves. Whoever wins gets to be
They
president.
definitely do not have equal weight.
Biden
Trump
is-
probably
Let
weighs
them-
like
no,
50
no, I'm saying
pounds
let
more than
them get to
Biden.
equal
Oh,
weight.
I'm like, Trump is like kind of a big guy.
No.
low-key.
He's 6'4".
Yeah,
No, he's
Trump is a
6'5".
big guy. Because when he was
6'5".
walking out, I was like, dang, he got like
Yeah.
bigger. I was like, what is going on?
Like, why did he get wider?
Well,
Okay.
I think it's getting to him because really becoming president is his only way of getting out of those felonies
Yeah,
and all those
Yeah.
charges. So
brother, his house got raided. That's everything gone.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like both of the options are not the best. Like
I wrote down.
there needs to be other. My bad. There needs to be other options because like
I feel like since they became like so popular,
Mhm.
like everyone is all of a sudden voting for either two.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it's only Republican versus Democrat,
yeah.
and like Democrats don't want to vote for Republican, Republicans don't want to vote for a
Yeah.
Democrat.
And it really didn't used to be like that.
Yeah.
It used to be a lot more of an even.
Like I'm
playing field.
independent. Like well, I would say like if I agree with your policies, I'm gonna vote for you. I'm not gonna vote for you just because of what side you're on.
Yeah,
yeah.
But also at the same time, like Trump, okay, we have like these things, hearing these things about Project 2025. You know about that?
No,
I
not
don't know
really.
about okay. Project 2025 is alleged, but these are like leaked from like Trump's team or whatever. Like he's trying to mess up the Constitution, the U.S. Constitution. He's trying to send more money to kick legal Mexicans out and stuff like that. And it's just a lot. You
I
have to read
mean,
up on it yourself.
if it's leaks, we don't like take every leak with a grain
Yeah.
of salt.
I mean,
but
honestly though, it's been like talked about because like it's an actual policy. Like it's an actual like policy that they want to bring in.
yeah,
It likely won't get passed because the U.S. Constitution.
yeah, I
but
believe it because during the
it's-
debate, Trump was like, Biden has brought in more rapists, killers, criminals, mentally ill people into our country than any other president. He was saying when I was president, the border was safe, but then Biden just like it seemed like during the debate, Trump would say one thing, Biden would say you're lying,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah,
Biden would say
literally.
something, and Trump was like, "This guy's not even mentally competent to be our president.
Yeah.
Like, look at him."
You know what? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Trump's a habitual liar.
Yeah.
He lies about proven facts. He just
And
he just denies
and he
things.
exaggerates truths.
Yeah.
Like
He's a politician.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's a
I
billionaire,
see.
so he's not used to telling the truth.
absolutely.
And I would definitely take everything he's saying with a grain of salt because
Yeah.
he lies about what he's done and what he's going to do. He's just trying to preserve his freedom. Really, he's really putting everything
That
on
brother
the
will
line.
be gone. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
He will be in a jail cell. Something will
There
happen.
really
is
trying.
other candidates for presidency, but
What,
they're
like-
obviously, huh?
Well, like Ronald Reagan Jr.
I'm not sure about him, but I was looking at this one person. They're running for. They're a black woman, I think. Black woman. I forgot her name, but she was like, I agree with a lot of her policies. But every time, like, you see somebody like, I would say like, oh, I would like them to be a president. They'll have like something that I disagree with, and then they won't focus on the parts that people want, like that.
Well, that's going to
people-
be every politician. Let's be honest.
Yeah, but she was like talking about like she would do free education, free healthcare, more housing for poverty. But she was talking about like she was gonna free every person that was in jail. And I was like, that is not.
Okay.
Alright.
Who would you guys
Wait,
vote for if
wait,
you could?
No, we have a
Alright, we
caller.
have a caller. Hello. Oh wait.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I am so proud that you guys are exercising your civic thoughts and feeding them to the people.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
one thing about Joe Biden, he has a stint on the side of his head. He has an as assembly, so that could very well be along with a tiny stroke, but this is he had aneurysm like in the So when I looked at the two of those things, I must be honest. I heard one of the panelists say that everything that Trump said was a lie on that line. Well, now could you probably give me one thing that he actually lied about that I can check it out and fact check it? And because we look at Joe Biden and to be totally honest with you, Joe Biden had 8 years to track anything that he did to the black community. And that man 4 years and he retract and very investment that was into the black community. I mean, really, really is the black community. And he hasn't repealed it, and he hasn't even talked about it. I think maybe he might have said it was a wrong idea, but he hasn't repealed it. And I want to talk about the crime bill that he could have repealed under the Barack Obama. And we still allowing people to come into our country, young people. I don't know what the is from, black, white, Hispanic. I don't know whether you could be African. I don't know, you could be Russian. But people are coming into this country, and there'll be no future for you guys. And the rule really, it's probably already about it for you guys to do something. You can't see it right now because you're probably not faced with a lot of huge challenges. So you're able to finagle and navigate your way around it. It doesn't bother you. But when you reach a certain point and you realize that there's no more bread in the basket for you, what are you going to do? I mean, I think that's the question. Could you give me that one thing that he lied about? And what are you going to do when the illegal immigrants that come into this country take a position that you really wanted, and you know this person hasn't paid into anything, hasn't did anything, and they have your position. How are you going to deal with that as a young American? I'll take that off the air unless you want to give me some feedback. I talked too much already, so you know I appreciate you taking my call. So I need
Right.
one thing to be right about, and what are you going to do when the position you apply for is no longer available, even if it's your neighborhood is getting along and the house one is not available because somebody's parent or grandparents have not honestly paid into the system and they're giving you benefits that are amazing. That's all. And understand you guys are young, you want the whole world to love each other. Kumbaya, you know. In a perfect world that would be nice. But I'm sad to say that's not the world we live in. So I'm sitting and listening to you guys, and if you want to give me some feedback and hit me, I'll try to fight. I'll get out the way and just take your answers off the air. Okay?
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
for
Okay,
calling.
thank you very
Thank
much, sir.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Good morning. How are you?
We're doing
Good.
Good
great.
morning.
I was just let me go out of here too close to the radio. Excuse me. Okay.
Ma'am,
I was.
excuse me, ma'am. Could you get off of speaker mode?
Yeah, it's hard to hear you.
Pardon?
It's hard to hear you. Are you on speakerphone?
I can cut that off.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
yeah,
you,
go
you-
ahead.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Seem to be having some audio difficulties.
Some technical difficulties.
Well, but yeah, I don't think anything relating to this debate is going to change for Black people.
Yeah. Not
It
too
doesn't
much.
seem like they're really bringing any new ideas.
Just the same things they've said before. Actually, I want to say this. I want to ask this before we even go. If you could vote, who would you vote for?
I'm
Biden.
not gonna.
Biden, yeah.
Biden.
Because I don't think anyone's going to change their vote. No, it makes no sense to change your vote, especially from this debate. They haven't brought
Yeah.
anything new to the table. If you voted for Trump, might as well just vote for him again. Like
Yeah.
he has basically a cult. Like he just has such
Make
such a
America
backing.
great again.
Yeah, he has such a backing that people who there's ride or dies essentially.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they aren't gonna change their vote. Biden,
Definitely not.
he's the more righteous of the two. So
I mean, I wouldn't say righteous, but he's like, it's that same argument we had in 2020. Like, I was with my family. I think it was my dad that said it's just the lesser of two evils.
Yeah. he's the more righteous.
You have a caller.
Oh yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm sorry about that.
No
Oh,
problem.
I
you're
just want to
okay.
get back to you concerning your conversation that you're having.
Yes.
And whether people know it or not, I study prophecy, and it's all true. It's just a sign of the times of what's going on. In the last days, men will be lovers of themselves, evil, boastful.
Absolutely.
So stuff is in God's hands just like we are. And he can't do no more than God allow him.
Yeah.
Sometimes God has to do what he don't like to accomplish what he wants to get done.
Absolutely.
Because when Jesus went out on the cross, he had never been separated. But he had to do it in order to get us back to him.
Yeah.
And some of the same things going to happen again. He might let Trump get in there just to get people back to him.
Oh, absolutely.
Because people have walked away from God. America is in trouble with God concerning. So this is what's going to happen. Donald Trump, God got a plan. He's going to work his plan the way he wants to play. So we do is pray for people, try to witness to people, do what we can, write the president, what I do. I wrote Obama while he was in there. He write me back. Do the same thing with Biden. Whatever going to happen is already done.
Yeah.
Whatever pertains to life, truly is already done in the spirit. So we're going through these last and evil days. That's what's going on now.
Absolutely.
So we trust God because he promised, I'll never leave you, never forsake you. I will supply your every need. So that's what I stand on, not Trump or not Biden. I stand on the promise of God. And that's what we all do if we're believers.
Amen.
And do what
Amen.
God wants.
Jesus is your Lord and Savior, people.
I just want
Repent
to share
today.
that with you. And when I wrote Biden, if he wants to gain black people, more votes from black folks, talk more about the Lord. The old forefathers, they always talked about the Bible. There's no such truth in separating the Bible and church. Separate. God is all and in all, no matter what it is. If you're doing good, He's gonna bless you. If you're doing worse, He's gonna have Satan run you back to Him. So people need to get in the Word of God and live the Word of God and give it to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
And our world would be even better. But we're in the last and evil days. When the virus came, they wanted to blame China, but it's in Isaiah chapter 28. Everything that happened with the virus is in the Bible. So, chapter 28 of Isaiah, but He warns us, He gives us a warning before He gives us destruction. Isaiah chapter 26 and 20, He warned His people to go in your home, lock the door behind you, and stay there till my anger passes over. See, God is angry because people have forgotten what He's done for them. And so when you get to chapter 28, nothing's changed. So Isaiah said, I've heard from the Lord God of hosts, a consumption is determined upon the whole earth. A consumption is a tuberculosis. They came back with a virus and a bacteria. That's why it was so deadly. Nothing happened without God. And without God, we can't do nothing. So we have to do what's right to
All
make
right.
things
Thank
right
you.
with God.
Thank you.
So you have a blessed day. I just want to share that with, because nobody talks about God anymore. That's why we talk about Jesus.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
We
Talk
need to
about
talk
Donald
about God
Trump.
more.
The devil can't do no more than God allowed him to do. There's
Yeah.
only two spirits, the Holy Spirit or evil.
Yeah.
Thank you for
We have
calling.
a choice.
Thank
And
you.
we have a destiny. When Jesus said on the cross, it is finished. He meant, I've showed you how to clear your sins, show you how to be born, how to live a child's life with your parents, how to go to work for your father, and how to die and go home and be with the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
God
Yeah,
bless
Thank
you.
you.
God bless you, ma'am. Have a great day.
Yes. Have a great day.
Have a great day.
Okay. Do you guys want to talk about teachers leaving schools?
Yeah, actually,
Mhm.
I'm unaware of this topic. Do any of you know why so many teachers are leaving schools?
Yeah.
Well, especially in Florida, Florida has the largest vacancies for teachers. I think it's around 5,000.
5,000
Yeah,
teachers.
it's due
In the
to
entire state?
the
Jesus.
entire state, and it's due to low pay and high work hours, especially.
What's the pay for teachers on average?
In America, it's like 30. No, it's like 40,000. I think, or like between 30 and 40,000.
Crazy.
Per year?
Yeah. I mean, it depends. Like, you can get like higher education. Like, I know a lot of teachers get like a bachelor. I'm not a bachelor, a master's or PhD, so they get more money than someone that just has a degree, or some people that don't have a
Yeah.
degree. Because you can be a teacher without a degree. You just have to get a teacher's certificate.
Yeah.
So it just honestly depends on your level of experience. Like, I know teachers that are making like 30,000, and I know teachers that are making 100,000. So
Yeah, I know like professors, like especially in Wisconsin, get paid more than teachers. And that's in like in colleges versus like in elementary school.
Yeah, and Wisconsin is no different. There's around 2,500 vacancies and 1,300 underqualified hires.
Underqualified? Jeez. Like these are the people that are supposed to bring about the next generation, and we don't want to give them the resources they need. Like the teachers directly correlate to the children and the people that are going to learn. If we don't have the proper teaching staff, we can't teach the next generation. And there's always that it's always going to be like, oh, you guys are the next generation, you guys got next up. But we need people to teach us why and how, right? Personally, I think that teachers do get paid less than they should. They have to put up with, especially in different public schools, like
especially middle school.
Yeah.
And high school. Because I think like just having like, especially high school, like you have to deal with like slick mouth parents, and you have to deal with like grading, and people will like disrupt your class and disrupt your lessons, and it's like I know I couldn't do it because I would get fired, but it's just like you have to be appreciative for the teachers that we have, because they put in a lot of time. They're underpaid, they're stressed out most of the time, so it's like you have to like respect, or at least like respect their time and energy.
Yeah. And then you'll probably have parents or other faculty that say you're not doing enough as a teacher, or you're not doing your job correctly when teaching their kid. And like I think teachers are doing all that they can.
Exactly.
There should definitely be background checks on teachers to make sure that they're qualified to teach these kids and that they have an actual passion to teach.
Yeah, that there's no ulterior motive, like
Yeah.
they're not grifters or
Or they're
people
not.
who just essentially want
What's
to
a
groom the
grifter?
mind. Well, grifter is people who, for lack of a better term, rage bait
Oh.
and like just try to make people like think like them
I
essentially.
get it. I get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
or the people that are just there to get a quick check, or like
Yeah.
the multitude of teachers that are pedophiles. Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
we need better background checks on that.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
like people who just do anything to win essentially,
Yeah,
like just for their side to be right essentially.
And you know, there's like a gun problem in America. So they're trying to pass a law, I think, in Tennessee or Alabama. I forgot which state. It's a southern state, but they're like trying to pass a law that teachers are allowed to carry firearms. And I was like,
on them
You can't-
inside
in
the
the-
school.
but yeah, like
Yeah, to
like
protect them.
yeah. But I'm like,
Yeah,
I
supposedly.
get why, but at the same time, you're not targeting the root of the issue. It's like putting a band-aid over like a big bullet, not a bullet. Like that's not.
Yeah.
Putting a band-aid over a
Like,
sliced off arm.
Yeah, like you
Mhm.
can't just patch it up with something that's not gonna target the problem. Like you have to actually like
Oh. I
like-
put some duct tape on it. It'll be fine.
yeah, no. No.
Yeah, because most people who like attack schools, like school shooters, are students.
Yeah.
Or
So-
former students.
Bullied
Yeah,
students,
or
especially.
former students. So
Mhm.
they're gonna know where they keep the firearm most likely. They're
Yeah.
gonna know like how to like all the exits, entrances, all the hidden locations. So it wouldn't make sense to just give them a firearm
I
and
think
just do away with it.
Loki, I think that schools should be like legally required to have a security guard because
Oh,
our
absolutely.
school does not have a security guard.
Oh yeah, we need one.
We don't have a security guard. But at the same time, our school is not like I
Well,
don't think our
there-
school is unsafe. I think I don't feel like unsafe when I go to school.
Yeah, you shouldn't have to feel that way.
Yeah.
There should definitely be for some people. I think there should be background checks on some people because you have mentally ill people using guns, and you have other people you have other people that don't take gun safety courses and think they can handle a gun.
It's
Oh
not,
yeah.
Like if you're gonna carry a gun, you have to know how to use it.
Yeah,
You have to
Also
know.
keep your finger on the
license.
keep your finger off the trigger when you're not using it. Right?
I
I
don't
know.
I just don't think that's a good idea because you never know. Like just because you're a teacher does not mean that you're not a
Yeah.
human. Like you can make a mistake, and that mistake can kill somebody,
Yeah.
and that is just not a good idea.
And I guess going back to our last topic,
Mhm.
Trump can't own a gun, but if he becomes president, he'd be able to have all like nuclear codes, which is really interesting. Like that, the whole system is a little construed.
Yeah, he's
God
literally
help
the
us.
highest level in the military. Like he's whatever
You're
he said we do.
right.
Like so it's just like I don't know. We need better options for real. You know, somebody that actually cares about.
Let's get a younger president and not somebody that's
Yeah.
in their 70s.
I mean, I don't think that's the problem. It's just that
I know.
think-
I'm just
I think
saying.
his,
ideas.
I think he just got really unlucky with his genetics, like with his brain. I don't know.
Who, Trump?
Because
No,
no, Biden.
Oh, Biden.
I mean, because my grandma is 82, and she's very active. She's intelligent.
My great grandma is 93 years old, and she can still. You said what?
exactly.
Yeah.
She can still tell me to go do everything I need to do. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before my great grandfather passed, he was 91, and he was on like his lawnmower, like mowing the lawn in Mississippi. So yeah, Joe Biden just got unlucky. Like
Man.
it's not because he was old, really. His just brain just wasn't working because there are much older people that are.
And
There's
also
nobody.
like
less
There's nobody
senile.
up there at the stakes.
also like with like a lot of power there comes like a lot of stress, which makes you look physically and like it's mentally draining as well. And so it can like affect both your mind and like, you know, what you look like. Yeah.
Okay.
I think like it speeds up aging, like stress hormones.
Okay. All right. So that brings us to our final topics of entrepreneurs who are teachers. Okay.
Do you have something?
Yeah, I'll start with mine.
Okay.
All right. So I have a teacher named Anna DiGilio. And have any of you like heard of the platform Teachers Pay Teachers?
No.
I don't think so. It
Oh.
sounds familiar, but I don't.
Yeah. So yeah, she was using that platform for some time. She started it when she was looking for ideas for like setting up her classroom, and she eventually was making 2 times her salary as a teacher. However, she like worked a bunch of hours, separate from her teaching job to, have that second job. But she eventually retired from a teaching job and worked full time as a businesswoman to make like this business that where second and third grade teachers can exchange ideas and resources and stuff like that. And she eventually ended up being a millionaire
Yeah.
just from that.
My
That's
story,
really-
my person I picked out is literally very similar. Her name is Lachey Greenwood. I used to watch her back in like 2020, I want to say like 2022, and this is like she had like about like 100,000 followers. Now she has about 2 million followers. And she used to make like funny teacher skits. Like it was like less serious than like doing like the classroom stuff. It was just like funny skits about her time as a teacher and like the students that she has to deal with. And eventually she decided that it was too much work. I mean, it was too much like the problem with teachers, like they don't get paid enough but they have to do all this work. So she decided to start a hair care company, or hair care company. And she says she makes around 7 figures. So
7 figures a
that's
year.
a lot. That's a lot of money. I don't know.
Wow.
Probably not a year. Probably like that's her gross.
Ooh, that's
Like
cap.
from all the year. I don't know. But at the end of the day, she's still a successful business, even though she's not making 7 figures. She
Mm.
still has a hair care and is doing significantly better and less stress and more money. So
Yeah, which is unfortunate that, like, of course, people still want to like go to like different careers, but it's unfortunate that people have to be pushed so far, like to make a living.
that they have to choose a
Yeah, that they
different
have
option.
to do that. Like even if they were happy with in their field, they'd
Yeah.
rather do a different like field, like becoming an entrepreneur, just because it pays more and it's more fulfilling. Which I think, teaching children, like teaching the new age, should be fulfilling enough.
Yeah.
But like that's not the reality of the
Yeah.
world. Money is the greatest evil, honestly. It
Yeah.
just ruins a lot of opportunities for people, makes
Yeah.
people greedy.
And I think when people look at certain people on the internet that are earning more money doing the same thing or similar things,
Mhm.
they put that on themselves like, oh, I'm not doing enough. Like, how can I earn more money? And in the pursuit of money, you will often find your soul being chipped
Yeah.
away one by one.
Yeah, it's
sorry, you go ahead.
it's really hard to find like, I guess like somewhere in between like a job that you enjoy or that you're good at and that pays well. Because like, take for example, like at a doctor's, someone can like not enjoy it, but it can, like pay really well. And as like someone who owns like this large business, like it's hard to find like time to, just enjoy yourself.
I think being like wanting to have money isn't inherently evil. Like I feel
Yeah,
like a
it's
lot
not.
of people that want to have money have been poor, so you like know what like not having a lot of money is like. And then you obviously want, like I say, I don't think you should ever dedicate your life to money, because money will never be like, you can have a lot of money, like you can make like a lot of money in a year, but it's still not, it still won't be enough for some people, or it'll be like too much. Like I know if I was making like Jeff Bezos type money, I would not be able to do that. Like I just couldn't. That would like I just couldn't. I couldn't make that much money.
No.
But I don't think that I personally like want to be. I don't think I love money. I just love the benefits of having money,
Yeah.
because you don't have to worry about, if you have a kid, you don't have to worry about paying a lot of money for like they break their ankle or something. You don't have insurance or whatever,
Right.
or you don't have to worry about not being able to pay your rent and your bills and stuff. And it's just like, obviously, like the more money you have, the less stress you'll be about like those small things that people don't even think about. Some people don't even think about. So
Of course.
Yeah, I'd say like money doesn't buy happiness, but it can get you more opportunities to see.
I know. Yeah,
like,
there are a lot
things
of
that
like,
make you happy.
yeah, there are a lot of like, I guess problems that build up when people like do have financial issues, like paying for like medical bills and like helping the homeless. And so in that way, it can prevent from like a lot of issues that have to do with like depression, but it doesn't necessarily buy happiness.
Money on its own. I agree with what you all said that, money inherently is not evil, but people make it evil. People want to make it seem like if you earn more money, like, have you ever heard eat the rich? Or
Yeah.
like we should eat the rich, or like rich people are not paying enough taxes, which they aren't. They got some tax breaks. But the pursuit of money, when you try to make it everything that you care about, when you try to make money your primary focus, that's when you start to lose yourself.
Or idolize money.
Or yeah, idolize money. Don't idolize. Okay, do not idolize anything.
Yeah,
Anything
it
at
will
all.
make you so disappointed.
Yeah, I've like seen like some stories like they like, just for example, like Taylor Swift. They'll be like, oh my God, I idolize Taylor Swift so much. I love her. And then they'll go see her, and then she's like a
Yeah.
human.
I,
she's a human.
I want you to realize these people are charging you to see them.
$2,000 to see them.
Honestly,
Like,
I will say though, I would have gone to see Kendrick play live. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that 5 times in a row. Ooh.
Yeah.
y'all, did you see that? Oh, this is not relevant.
But yeah, comparison is the thief of joy. You shouldn't compare yourself to anyone, because then you lose purpose. Once you potentially become greater in quotation than that person, then what are you?
No,
Like,
don't even do that. Don't even do that. Don't even try to
Exactly.
say like compare. No, compare yourself to yourself. Here's what I do. I chose a day out of the year, and for an entire year, I will do as much as I can to try to better myself physically, mentally, still working on it. But when that day comes next year, I don't look at what I've done before, my failures of the past year. I look at where I was last year to where I am today, that same day. And honestly, I realized that I'm physically healthier, I'm stronger mentally, and like I got back into reading the Bible and getting closer to God versus last year when I mostly pushed most of my problems away and said, "Oh, it's all fine," and I wasn't trying to do nothing. I was really I was down here, now I'm up here.
And that's a really good idea. I feel like people should do that. Like back to what Antonio was saying, like comparison really is deep joy, because I know, like, if you like, say for example, you want to be a singer, but then you only look up at like popular singers or their talents instead of looking at yours. So then you're like, well, I'm not as good as this person, so I can't be successful. And that's like that can lead you down like a really bad path.
The only person you're in competition with is the one in the mirror.
all right, it looks like it's about that time. This is our second show with the new recruits, Sabrina and Ian. So far, they've been doing amazing. As well as thank you all, our listeners, for tuning into the Hustle and Grow Show, powered by the Center for Teaching Entrepreneurship. Be sure to check out our website at www.ctemke.org. Have a wonderful day.
Have a great day.
Bye.
God
Thank
bless you all.